How about those Brewers? They walk off against the Cardinals in extra innings. How about that Brew Crew Magic? Are you a fan yet? Are you on board? Are you? MLB Game Night. Every game, every night, and we are underway.
When that final out is made, you know it's time for Locked On MLB Game Night. All the post-game reactions to every game across the league, every single night, with insights only the hosts at Locked On can provide. Prepare to experience game day reactions like never before. Only on Locked On MLB Game Night. Your team every day.
Glad you're on board with us with our latest edition of MLB Game Night. Every game, every night. He is Lindsay Crosby, host of the Locked On Braves postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network. You can follow Lindsay on the X at Crosby Baseball. I'm Steve Lenox, host of the Locked On Red Sox postcast, and you can follow me on the X at Lenox on Baseball. Lindsay, Jazz, and Max lead the Yankees at Fenway. Tigers losing Miami, but they do get good news on Tarek Skubal, and the Phillies able to reduce their magic number down to 1 to clinch the NL Eastern Division title. Before we get into all the games on MLB Game Night, we are presented by 5 Hour Energy. Enter for a chance to win a dream golf trip for 2 to any golf tournament in the USA. Visit 5hewin.com for full rules and entry. No purchase is necessary. Excludes the Masters tournament. Ends October 31. 2025. So, as I touched on in the open there, Lindsay, the Brewers win again. They've won the first 2 games of the series, responding nicely after being swept to open up the week against the Rangers in Arlington. This one, smoke and mirrors. You just have to figure out a way to win ball games sometimes. They get 2 in the 8th inning, 3 in the 9th inning, 2 in the 10th inning, win over the Cardinals 9-8. Are you on board at this point in time with the Brewers making it to the National League Championship Series?
It feels like this roster maybe has more of a chance than some of the other ones because it feels like they're deeper at positions than they've been in a long time, right? The rotation, they've got multiple guys with Woodruff being back now. The bullpen, it's always somebody new coming out of there every couple weeks. I don't know who starts game 3. I think most teams, you don't really have a great idea of a game 3 starter, but they may not get to game 3 until they hit a 7-game series.
Our guy Chuck Freeman has the details on the latest Brewers victory. Chuck from Locked On Brewers.
The Brewer 2025 highlight reel comes out. It's going to be about a 4-hour movie. And Andrew Monasterio is going to be in several of those clips, including tonight. You remember that 3-run home run he hit in Cincinnati a few weeks ago? Well, tonight, walk-off base hit in the bottom of the 10th inning caps off an incredible rally for the Brewers. They were down 6-1. Kind of look dead in the water, but this team really is. Are they ever dead in the water? Not really. Bottom of the 9th inning, 3 to send it to extra innings. They get a double play ball on the top half of the 10th inning after loading the bases. Not surprised. And then the Brewers come back and they score 2 in the bottom half of the 10th inning to win it. Just another page in this 2025 season. Let's hope they have some of this in October. Yeah, I'm going to go there. Let's hope they have some of this magic in October. See you Sunday night on the next edition of Locked On Brewers. Please subscribe.
Chuck mentioned down 6-1. They were down 3-0, 6-1, and 7-4, and able to come back. And it's what they do. It's what they've done throughout the season. Never count them out.
36 comeback wins, 11 walk-off wins. When you're a fundamentally sound team and you can take advantage of every opportunity, this is the kind of thing that happens. I still have a little bit of question about the postseason just because we haven't seen them do it in the postseason. But this roster, they feel like they're a little more resilient than maybe some of the other ones, and they should be able to take care of business in October.
Sam Frelick, 2 hits, 2 RBIs, 3 runs scored. William Contreras, a couple of hits, 3 RBIs. Mizorowski, 5 innings, 4 earned runs, gave up home runs to Donovan and Herrera for the Cardinals. The Cardinals, they've now dropped 5 in a row, and with that, they're also 5 games under 500. Let's move on. American League Baseball at Fenway. Yankees, Red Sox. This was billed. Pedro Martinez throwing out the first pitch Friday night. That didn't help. Yankees win the opener. David Ortiz, Big Papi, threw out the ceremonial first pitch on Saturday. That didn't help. Yankees have not trailed in the series. Jazz Chisholm, 3 hits, including a home run against Brian Bayo. He had 3 RBIs, 5-3 the final. Red Sox got to within a run in the 8th inning. Jarren Duran in a pinch off the bench with a pinch hit home run. But the Yankees got a run in the 9th against Aroldis Chapman. And Max Fried did enough to earn his 17th win of the season. That's the best way to sum up Max Fried's day.
Yeah, I mean, this is what the Yankees have to do. Like, they have to win the Max Fried starts. They got to get great performances out of guys like Jazz, like Judge, things like that. The biggest story to me, I think, ends up being this Chapman one, though, because when's the last time Aroldis Chapman gave up a hit?
Well, he did on Wednesday. He gave up the game-winning hit to Lawrence Butler in West Sacramento. So he had gone 50 straight batters without allowing a base hit. But all of a sudden, he's proven human over his last two outings. It's okay. It's great to do those things July, August. This is September. This is where it really counts. Last two outings, he hasn't gotten it done.
Yeah, hasn't quite been the same guy. David Bednar, second straight game for the Yankees.
Yep.
So that's the big too.
And to your point with Bednar, back-to-back games, 1, 2, 3, ninth innings. It didn't matter that Chapman gave up that insurance run in the top of the ninth inning. The Red Sox were going to go down 1, 2, 3, no matter what, in the bottom half of the ninth inning. That's how dreadful their offense has been this season. And with that, we've got Gabby locked on Red Sox. And Gabby, there's a theme with the Red Sox right now. Lindsay, we've touched on it. Gabby sort of expounds on it as well.
The Boston Red Sox need to figure out how to hit with runners in scoring position. I'm Gabby Maljanian from Locked On Red Sox, where the Red Sox unfortunately just fell 5-3 against the rival New York Yankees, losing once again at home to their rivals. And obviously, anytime you lose against the Yankees, it's unfortunate, but the Red Sox lineup is really showing its weaknesses right now and really showing the fact that there are holes due to injuries in this lineup right now, not having key players like Willie Abreu, like Roman Anthony, guys who you really trust to come up with a big hit are not in the lineup right now. And in their absence, guys are not stepping up. Trevor Story going 0 for 4. The Red Sox middle of the order going 1 for 14 in this game. The bottom of the order was really the story of this game on offense. And the Red Sox could not come up with those big hits when they needed it. It's becoming a pattern now. If this team wants to secure a playoff spot, they have to figure out how to drive in runs with the guys they have. Tune into Locked On Red Sox on any podcast platform Monday through Friday for more on this Boston Red Sox team.
Crochet, he's your ace. He goes Sunday as you're going to look to avoid being swept. They've got the pitching matchup in their favor. Will Warren on the other side.
Yeah, and I know that Skubal is, going to have good news. We're going to talk about that in a few minutes. But Crochet he's pushing for a Cy Young here. So you have to hope he has that September step up a little bit as he gets ready for the postseason, which I believe this might be one of his first postseasons in his career.
Yeah, and I think for Crochet, I think for young players with the Red Sox, even the veterans, I don't care that Bregman's been there in the past with the Astros. It's important for them to get there. Bregman had a home run off the pesky pole, but first home run since early August when it was on the road against the Astros. So scoreboard watching on Saturday, Lindsay. Orioles had the lead against the Blue Jays. I had all the faith in the world that the Blue Jays were going to come back and win the game. Turns out they did, down 4-2, going to the ninth inning, 3 runs to win it. Andres Jimenez, RBI single. That tied the game at 4. Alejandro Kirk, a single and an RBI in the 8th inning, ended it with a sacrifice fly. Right now, for me, Blue Jays, very similar to what we just heard from Chuck Freeman with the Locked On Brewers and the recap of the Brewers walk-off win. It could be anybody up and down the lineup. It could be any one of their starters who just proves a positive outing in some way, positive production. That's what you need come October.
45 comeback wins on the season is absolutely nuts for the Jays. Fantastic stat you have here, but they're 65-4 when they score 5 or more runs. And to your point, they can get their runs from anywhere. They actually, they have a bunch of guys rehabbing that are coming back with this Anthony Santander, guys like that. They just called up prospect Trey Yasavage, the pitcher. The reinforcements are coming, but the lineup is already pretty potent, whether it's the resurgent year of George Springer, all that stuff. This is a scary team. My question is going to be, do you have enough pitching in the postseason? We'll find out what Shane Bieber, more of what he might be. He goes on Sunday. Curious to see how that looks, but that's the big question here. Scherzer was good enough, right? 5 innings, 2 runs, but in the postseason, does that hold against better teams than the Orioles?
Yeah, and I think maybe you piggyback. Could you piggyback Scherzer and Bieber somehow? Let them go 5-4 somehow and shorten the game that way, and maybe the closer in the 9th inning. We put Tigers Marlins at the end of segment 1 simply because good news for the Tigers. At least tentatively, I would say, cautiously perhaps, Tarek Skubal, imaging coming back clear. And they're actually saying they're not going to push him back a start. He's going to be as scheduled. Next time his number is called, he's going to be able to answer the bell. I was very surprised by that on Saturday.
I was too. It has to be really good imaging for them to not even worry at all about giving him a couple extra days. If I remember right, he's also one of those routine-oriented guys, kind of like a Max Fried. He wants to go every fifth day. He doesn't want to get extra rest. So that may be part of it as well. But if this doesn't go that well, look for them to really just give him as much rest as possible before you get to the playoffs. Although obviously at this point in time, you really can't put him on the IL. You won't have time to get him back. So they may just have to pitch a man short if this doesn't go well in its next start.
Troy Johnston, 2-run home run in the 11th inning. That won it for the Marlins, who have now won 4 in a row. Kerry Carpenter, 2 hits, including a 2-run home run and the loss for the Tigers on Saturday down in Miami. Tigers need a win on Sunday in the finale to avoid being swept. Kyle Schwarber hit number 51. Phillies' magic number to win a division title is down to 1. We're going to have the details next.
You've probably seen a million ads for hair growth products and thought, yeah, come on. Okay, sure. Like that actually works. There are so many products out there, it's hard to know which ones are actually going to do anything. And that's why you should give Nutrafol a closer look. Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement brand, trusted by over 1.5 million people. And it's not just hype. This is a supplement that's clinically tested to target the root causes of thinning and shedding with a proactive approach. Like whether you're at work, you're out with friends, or even just getting ready in the morning, Nutrafol gives you more confidence in your daily routine, and it's simple to add to your day. 4 pills with a meal, no prescription needed. You can feel good about it knowing Nutrafol is NSF certified and backed by peer-reviewed studies as well. So, see thicker, stronger hair with less shedding in just 3 to 6 months with Nutrafol. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering Locked On MLB listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com, Nutrafol.com, and enter the promo code Locked On MLB. That's Nutrafol.com, promo code Locked On MLB.
At MLB Game Night, Steve Lenox, Lindsay Crosby, glad you're with us. We continue throughout the Major League Baseball regular season, which actually wraps up 1 week from Sunday on September 28th. It'll be Brian and Lindsay with our final show. Yes, I'm looking ahead, but Brian will be on board with either John or JD on Sunday as we continue MLB Game Night, every game, every night. We're going to hear from Connor Thomas in just a moment, but the Phillies do win again. 89th win of the season. Kyle Schwarber, Brandon Marsh, Lindsay on Saturday, both homering in an 8-6 victory against the Royals. Number 51 for Schwarber. Connor Thomas believes, Lindsay, that the Phillies are the best team, not only in Major League Baseball, but in the world. But he's got some hyperbole in here. I do believe, I'm going to call him on something. I think you'll catch it pretty easily. Let's hear from Connor on the Phillies' latest win.
Just another day and another win for the hottest baseball team on planet Earth, the Philadelphia Fighting Phillies. I'm Connor Thomas, your host of Locked On Phillies, and a come-from-behind win for the Fightins today. Taijuan Walker was not great at the start, but he battled, he settled in, and the Phillies offense got rolling. Kyle Schwarber goes yard again. The Ottoman Empire has never been stronger. My goodness, what a battle by him. And Harrison Bader might legitimately be the best baseball player on planet Earth right now. He has been incredible since being acquired at the trade deadline by the Philadelphia Phillies. Joan Duran locked down in the ninth, as pretty much always. And this team's magic number, with the Mets losing tonight, is down to 1. They can clinch the NL East title tomorrow before the Eagles even kick off. I mean, this team is 1 win away from locking up the division for the 2nd straight year, and they are rolling into October. I'm Connor Thomas, and we'll talk more on the next episode of Locked On Phillies.
Connor's got to play the lottery.
I will give him that Harrison Bader's been good with the Phillies. 352, 410, 544 is the slash. I think it's 4 home runs, 15 RBI. It's also 37 games. Like, I feel like almost any baseball player can have a hot run of 37 games. Now, is there something to getting into a better environment than what he was in Minnesota? Yes, there's something to that. He's finally healthy as well. Let's take it easy on the best player in baseball kind of talk. Although, speaking of best player, I do wonder if Kyle Schwarber is going to challenge Shohei Ohtani for MVP.
51 home runs.
Mm-hmm.
He had the solo shot in the fifth inning. Yeah, Salvador Perez, 2 home runs in the loss, numbers 26 and 27. He's got 84 runs batted in. It'll be Aaron Nola for the Phillies in the finale on Sunday. Noah Cameron goes for the Royals as they'll look to avoid being swept in the city of brotherly love. Let's move on, and let's go through this one quickly. We got to give our due to the Rangers. They win again, 2 in the 8th inning, 1 in the 9th inning. Beat the Mets 3-2 for their 6th straight victory. Wyatt Langford knocking in the go-ahead run with an RBI single in the 9th inning. Did that against Edwin Diaz. Diaz, 3rd blown save of the season. The Rangers, 6 straight wins, now 16 wins in their last 20.
They've been they're pushing for this postseason spot. They've been one of the best teams in baseball. They swept the Brewers earlier this week. And this is why this final 2 weeks is going to be fantastic, because things are up in the air here. But the Mets' nightmare continues, right? Diaz blew the save, like you said. They've lost 11 of their last 14. They are now tied with the Giants, I believe, for the final wildcard spot.
Is it tied or is it a half?
It was tied earlier today. It is now a half because the Giants.
It's a half.
It is now a half.
We're going to get into the Dodgers thumping. Yep, we'll get into the Dodgers thumping the Giants in San Fran here in just a few moments. But again, a victory for the Rangers. They come from behind. Brandon Stroh, real quick on the Mets side, he was terrific. Ooh. The rookie, 6 innings, no runs. He's right in the middle of it right now. You're called up to not be a savior necessarily, but to really anchor that bullpen with the other 2 rookies. And you're in the pits of hell right now with this team, because even your terrific outing couldn't spin them out of it.
And Juan Soto hitting a homer there, 40th home run of the year, wasn't enough. And that's just the Mets. We always talk about this, 1 for 10 with runners in scoring position, left 12 on base. There's the story of your game right there. They didn't have the margin to overcome an Edwin Diaz mistake.
Dodgers, 13 runs, 17 base hits, rebound nicely from being walked off on the grand slam by Patrick Bailey on Friday night. 13-7 the final in San Fran on Saturday. Giants actually scored 4 runs in the first inning, so 8 runs against Dodgers pitching, 4 in walk-off fashion on Friday, 4 in the first against Clayton Kershaw. But Shohei did hit a home run, solo shot, 49th on the season.
Yeah, it's weird to see Logan Webb get tagged like he did. 6 runs on 10 hits in 4 innings. But Clayton Kershaw, he goes 3 innings. Another worrisome short start on a bullpen that's incredibly overworked. And we saw this with the Guardians last year. This could come back and bite the Dodgers in the postseason. They've had to cycle through guys and use those guys incredibly hard down the stretch here.
Better for the Dodgers if they they might have to make a hard decision on Clayton Kershaw, but better for them if, everyone else is healthy and they can ring the bell at the start of the playoffs where you do leave Kershaw off initially.
I don't know if there's any way that they can do it. I mean, are there 13 other pitchers better than Clayton Kershaw on your team? I don't really know that. I don't think they'll make the calculation that there is, right? Yeah. You would take Yamamoto, Snell, Glasnow. Those are your 3 starters, but you'd find a spot for him as a long man, bulk guy. You'd have to come out of the pen. They'd find a way to do it.
Not sure, Lindsay, if you saw it on social media, but they celebrated the career of Anthony Rizzo at Wrigley on Saturday, and they did it in great fashion. They really did. But as Sam Ober from Locked On Cubs tell us, Cubbies couldn't come up with a victory.
The Cubs couldn't get it done on Saturday for Anthony Rizzo. It was a spectacular day. Rizzo was awesome. Honoring him was really, really cool. But the Cubs found a way to lose a baseball game. I'm Sam Oler from the Locked On Cubs podcast. I'm not going to get into the bullpen. They can't be perfect every day. Brad Keller allowed his first run since July 12th. It happens. Rather have it happen now than in October. Cubs had a really good chance in the bottom of the 9th. Runners on the corners, no outs, weren't able to score. But to me, today, PCA is really hurting this team. And they were as fun as any team, if not the most fun team to watch in baseball when he was rolling alongside Kyle Tucker. And him and Kyle Tucker, whether by injury for Tucker or performance, they haven't been playing at an elite level together, since who knows when. And that's what's missing from this Cubs team right now. That's why they don't feel as fun. They're missing their spark plug. They're missing their juice. and that's what PCA brings, and the Cubs have got to find a way. They already tried to give him a couple of days off. Maybe they try that again. They've got to find a way to get PCA back. He went 0 for 4 today with 4 not great ABs, and then there was a ball in center field I thought he should have caught. It hit kind of the mid part of the wall. It hung up there for a while. It's a ball he usually catches. That cost the Cubs a run. They need PCA back to be, to be able to reach their ceiling.
The issue there, he's always had a ton of chase, but he's gotten a lot more passive in the second half. It's like he's heard the criticism that he's swinging too much at bad stuff, but he's letting too many good pitches go by now. He just looks kind of lost at the plate. You heard Sam say some pretty bad at-bats. He looks lost. At this point, you kind of just have to turn him loose and let him get back to his natural instincts of, yes, he'll make some ugly swings like Javi Baez, but he'll also run into plenty of power like Javi Baez, and that's where you are with PCA right now.
Let's do this real quick. Let's scroll down to our rundown of segment number 3. We're going to do Diamondbacks, Twins, and Reds and Athletics right here. We're going to move Astros and Mariners to segment number 3 to start off. So I'll take Diamondbacks. Lindsay, you finish with the Reds here. Diamondbacks 3 in the 10th inning, beat the Twins 5-2, even up that series at a game apiece. Gabriel Moreno put the D-backs in front with an RBI single. Blaze Alexander, 2-run double. I really like Blaze Alexander. That series 1-1 with the rubber game in the 3-game set at Target Field on Sunday.
Yeah, Reds at Athletics. The A's win this one 11-5. Really blew it open in the 8th with 5 runs. Nick Kurtz launched a grand slam, 31st homer of the year, 491 feet, one of the longest home runs in baseball this year. But just tons of stuff here. Brett Rooker, Carlos Cortez hit homers in the second. That's Cortez's 3rd of the series. Hunter Green only went 2 1/3 innings, 5 runs on 4 hits. 4 walks, 3 strikeouts, but 4 A's relievers all combined for a scoreless inning to get them through this one. They've won the series now. I believe they're going for the sweep on Sunday.
The Astros did beat Lindsay's Braves on Saturday. Lindsay's going to give the details on that one. Plus, the Mariners able to take care of business at home against the Angels. We're going to hear from Ty Dane Gonzalez with the recap of the Mariners' latest victory. That's next. It's MLB Game Night.
The NFL season is here, and FanDuel's making sure you're ready for kickoff with a can't-miss offer. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. FanDuel's great because it fits however you like to bet. Player props, building a same-game parlay, or even jumping in live as the action unfolds. So, if you're ready to play, download the FanDuel app now by visiting FanDuel.com to get started. That's FanDuel.com to place your first $5 bet.
All right, the Astros, Lindsay, are going to go for the series sweep in Atlanta against the Braves on Sunday with the series finale on Saturday. They take care of business, 3 in the second, 3 in the third, and sort of tattooed Bryce Elder, I would say. He gave up 10 hits total.
Yeah, he's had some of the most quality starts in baseball since August 1st, but obviously not in this one. And a lot of this, he did give up a homer to Christian Walker on a kind of like a hanging sinker. But a lot of this was just singles through the infield, line drives, stringing together hits. That 3rd inning was kind of a great example of that. It was Carlos Correa leads off with a double. Jose Altuve singles. Correa comes in on a ground ball out, and then the Christian Walker homer, right? Flip side of this, Hunter Brown, 6 2/3, only gives up 2 runs, 1 on a solo shot to Ronald Acuna Jr. You never feel bad if that dude takes you deep. I'm sorry, Matt Olson. Solo shot by Matt Olson. The other one on a double, Matt Olson, he gets driven in. But didn't strike out a ton, but just kept the ball down, kept Braves hitters off balance. They could never really get it going. He's a legitimate ace and should be in the back end of the Cy Young voting conversation as far as he'll get votes. He might be top 4, top 5.
Yeah, and we'll get into the Mariners here too. Brian Wu, I was kind of paying attention to that game tonight. Yeah. I feel like it's very similar to Hunter Brown. Just being in the conversation this year, that's a shot in the arm for those pitchers individually because they're both deserving to be in the conversation.
Yeah, and the differences in their games today kind of show you how flexible these guys are. Hunter Brown can rack up the strikeouts. Yeah. Today he did. I don't think he had his first strikeout till maybe the 5th inning. But flip side, Brian Wu had 13 strikeouts today. He doesn't do as well at getting the ground balls as Hunter Brown does, but both of them are those kind of guys that they can prioritize swing and miss, and do that. If they want to go deeper in the game, they can just sit there and get soft contact and keep you off balance. Wu went for punchies today, getting 13 strikeouts, 3 hits across 6 innings.
Yeah, so the Astros beat the Braves, as we just touched on with Lindsay. The Mariners did win at home against the Angels. They've won the first 3 games of that series. We've got Ty Dane Gonzalez locked on Mariners on Seattle, able to extend its win streak and stay tied atop the AL Western Division for first place with Houston.
And the Mariners really needed to have a game like this one tonight. This is Ty Dane Gonzalez, host of the Locked On Mariners podcast here. It wasn't a blowout, 5-3 victory for the Mariners over the Angels tonight, but it was a far easier going win than the last few have been for the M's. Some close games, obviously the back-to-back extra innings affairs. Yeah, they won 8 in a row, but they have really had to earn these last few, and that has put a lot of stress on this bullpen and a lot of stress on this club in general. But Brian Wu being able to go 6 strong in this one certainly helps. He strikes out a career-high 13, and that is the first time in his career he has eclipsed the double-digit strikeout mark in a single game. The offense was also able to produce runs in 3 separate innings, which gave the Mariners a 5-2 lead for pretty much the majority of the second half of this one, and that allowed Dan Wilson to be able to confidently use Luke Jackson in the 7th, Caleb Ferguson in the 8th, and Matt Brash in the 9th, which was probably already the plan, but you get the point.
Yeah.
So the Mariners are actually pretty well positioned, all things considered, to secure a perfect homestand tomorrow. We'll see if they can get it done before they head out on the most important road trip of the entire season. We'll talk to you on the Locked On Mariners podcast on Monday. See you then. Peace.
And that road trip is going to include a trip into Houston.
Yep.
They are 5-5 in the season series. So that series that's upcoming, Seattle and Houston, in Houston, it's going to be a lot of fun.
It's going to decide the tiebreaker here between these two teams. We don't do single game playoffs anymore and things like that. This is it next weekend. I'm curious to see what both these teams do to kind of set their rotations. And do they treat this like a playoff series, or do they say we're likely in the postseason either way? We just want to figure out the right seeding here.
The Guardians continue to pitch. It's not laughable, but it's just exciting. I mean, they just continue to win. They've now won 9 of 11, take care of business against the White Sox. It was Bybee on Friday, rookie Messick on Saturday in the victory against Chicago. And they've owned the Chicago White Sox this year. For more on the Guardians' latest win and their latest strong pitching performance from a starter, we've got Justin Latta, Locked On Guardians.
Factory chugs along as the assembly line keeps working for the Cleveland Guardians. What's up? It's Justin Latta here from Locked On Guardians. A 3-1 Cleveland Guardians win over the Chicago White Sox. Parker Messick goes 6 innings, allows 1 run. He did have to work a little bit harder, give 7 hits. The White Sox did not chase. He didn't get a lot of whiffs, but he's able to scatter 7 hits, only walked 1, as the pitching keeps on getting it done for the Cleveland Guardians. Over the last 7 starts, the starting pitching has allowed just 6 earned runs, and they're going almost 7 innings to start. It's been a great week for the starters. And I said way back when on Locked On Guardians that they were ever going to get on a roll, that the pitching staff was going to be the part of the team that stepped up. They have found that identity again over the last couple of weeks here. It's been a great week of pitching for the Guardians. And the bullpen comes in, 3 scoreless innings, no big deal. Hunter Gaddis, I don't think he's even showering after the game. He only threw 6 pitches. Meanwhile, the bullpen finally got some work. Parker Messick thought maybe these guys need a little bit of work. They got to earn their money, right? Home runs by C.J. Kafis, John Kensington-Noel. Big night for some of those guys. And the Guardians will be looking for the Angels to get a little help from the outfield, because they are not getting any help in this wild card race. So we'll be scoreboard watching, and we'll be covering every bit of this series against the White Sox on Locked On Guardians. We'll see you there next time.
Kafis is a guy I'm starting to pay attention to more, and I think it's because of Justin Latta. Rookie that's, opening some eyes, I think, getting opportunity, making the most of it.
He's that guy. He can play multiple positions. He's done corner outfield. He's done first base for them. He can DH some, but it feels like the overall stats aren't great. He's hitting like 206 or something on the year, but it just feels like he's coming in clutch. And recently he's been better. I think he has 2 home runs in the last 7 games. He's got like 5 RBI, and that's the kind of thing that matter. Those little small performances matter when you get late in September like this.
Guardians have won 9 of 11, as Justin alluded to. They can go for the series sweep against the White Sox on Sunday. Pirates Nationals Friday. Well, that one going the way of the Nationals as they were able to come from behind for the 6-5 victory. Bubba Chandler, the story on Saturday for the Pirates. It wasn't Paul Skeens. Chandler, terrific. His final line, 6 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned run. The 2 hits he allowed, both singles, and picking up a no decision. But the Pirates do pick up the win as they scored 4 in the 8th inning, 1 in the 9th, won 5-1.
Yeah, he also didn't give up a hit until the bottom of the 6th inning. First 15 went up, went down. So obviously great to see. And just the Pirates have the arms if they can find the offense to go with these guys. And that's the frustrating part is this is half of a really good team and the other half is just not there.
Yeah, just keep these starters healthy, keep them healthy into spring training, let them go. Is it Jared Jones who's missed this whole year? I really liked him.
Yeah.
He was down with an injury, and he can very well be a part of that next year as well. I think he'd be – I'm going out there on a limb here, but I think he'd be ready to go for spring training. He's missed the entire 2025 season. McCutchen, York, both delivering 2-run singles in the 8th inning, both with 2 outs. And then Jared Triolo had a home run in the 9th inning for the Buccos as well. We close out Rockies and Padres, and the Padres now up 2-1 in the series. They pound the Rockies 11-3. Remember Fernando Tatis Jr. 0-for-4, Lindsay, with 4 strikeouts on Friday. Went yard in the 2nd, and so did Manny Machado and Jackson Merrill. They both hit home runs in the 3rd for San Diego. They scored some runs.
They finally scored runs. They had 4 home runs in this game. I think that's a big part of it. An underrated guy that doesn't get talked about enough. We have a second here. Ramon Laureano.
Yeah.
They get him at the trade deadline.
They got 2 bats from the Orioles in that one.
Yeah, like he's hitting 290 on the year, but with San Diego, 40 games, I know it's not quite Harrison Bader numbers, but he's hitting 291 with an 873 OPS. He's got 29 RBI in 40 games. He scored 23 runs. He's playing really good defense for them in the outfield. He's solving a lot of problems that they had. And this is what they can do when they are hot. Dylan Cease going 6 innings with 1 run and 6 strikeouts does not hurt.
Real quick on Dylan Cease, 5th straight year with 200 or more strikeouts. I'm right, yes, and thinking that's impressive.
Yes, that is not like 9 strikeouts per 9 innings is kind of the standard now for a lot of starters, but not everybody does it. Not everybody can do that workload. And it's impressive. He's going to get paid in free agency despite the ERA being a little bit higher than where he wanted it to be. He's going to get paid in free agency.
We do appreciate you being on board with our latest edition of MLB Game Night, every game, every night. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We hope you'll come back and visit us next time on MLB Game Night. Once again, every game, every night, part of the Locked On Podcast Network.